Washington has reacted with surprise and outrage at China's leadership for violently crushing student protests in Tiananmen Square.
I believe that Deng Xiaoping, in fact, finally controlled the situation on the basis of his longevity and the prestige that he has. It's the last roll of the dice, probably a fatal one, for the legitimacy of his government.
Experts say it will be impossible for China's aging leadership to bottle up the forces of reform.
They've been paralyzed politically, and they've acted militarily before even trying a conciliatory political approach. And that's, in effect, a bankrupt policy.
President Bush has said he deplores the crackdown in Beijing, but in an effort not to jeopardize Sino-U.S. relations built carefully over the past 2 decades, Bush has kept to criticism, not sanctions. There's a different tune in Congress.
I think the United States has to respond beyond condemnation. I've suggested that perhaps a meeting of the group of 7 of the economic leaders of the world get together and decide.
Members are gathering support for legislation that could call for recalling the U.S. ambassador for consultations, ending transfers of high technology, changing U.S. immigration policies to allow Chinese students in the United States to remain until they are assured of no reprisals on their return to China, and cutting off military aid.
Would be politically unacceptable and morally unthinkable, Leslie, for us to continue selling arms to a country which is engaged in the wanton slaughter of its own people.
And I'm going to start tomorrow morning in the Senate to line up bipartisan support to cut off all of that sort of thing. It's folly, and we need to stand with these young people who are trying to achieve freedom.
Where the president goes from here will depend in part on whether force is again used to quell any Chinese discontent. The administration will be keenly watching the situation.